What's up, YouTube? Southern Comic Geek coming to you with a huge comic book crawl. Went on vacation, hit up several comic shops along the way, and so if you want to see what I picked up over the last few days, stay tuned for the video. Now, before we get into all of this comic book goodness, go ahead and smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification. So when videos like this drop ever so randomly, you are one of the first people to know and can make the conscious decision as to whether or not to watch it now or later. As long as you watch it, we appreciate you. Talking about people that we appreciate, how about the ever-growing list of channel members and Patreon members, people that have chosen to support the channel for various reasons, but supported nevertheless, and we appreciate them. And so if you're not familiar with some of the names that you see up there, go type that up into the YouTube search bar after you watch this video, of course, and check them out. Most of them are content creators themselves and put up some great content, and go check them out. And if you're interested in the benefits of these memberships, check out the links in the description below. It's always a good time to save some money. So how about be sure to protect your valuables, cards, comics, vinyl records, etc. Go to bcwsupplies.com. Use the coupon code SCG to save 10% on your order. There's also a link in the video description below. Also, if you are interested, the first channel exclusive, we still have some of the regular covers available. The gold and foil are sold out. But if you're interested in the regulars, there were 50 numbered, but only 40 ever made it past the publisher to me. And so there's only 40 of these out there in the wild, or will be only 40 in the wild. This is the back cover of that. And so if you're interested in picking up one of the regular covers of that, let me know on IG. And also, while I'm thinking about that, if you're not following me over on IG, it's Southern Comic Geek, all one word, and also on Whatnot, Southern Comic Geek, all one word. And so go check that out. Give me a sub, follow, etc., etc. So went on vacation with the fam, and the way I kind of put it out was, did a little comic hunting, did a little family thing, did a little comic hunting, a little family thing, and that's how we kind of progressed through the last few days. I hit up a total of, 1, 2 on the way over there. Hit up, 2 comic shops over there. 1, 2, that's 4. And 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 total comic shops. I was trying to count them off in my head. So 9 total comic shops. Some I got more at than others. And now all of these are kind of mixed up all together. But I will, especially for the comic shops that really meant anything, I'll be sure to mention them and give them a shout out. And if you've been following me over on Instagram, you saw where I've done that for some of those. Surprisingly, I only had one package when I got back, and that was for this book right here, which is Batman 198. So if you've been following the channel, you know that I have very early Batman on to current. All of them from 180 something to current, and I've been kind of toying with the idea of getting 100 to current. I think I've got 40 in that 100 bracket right now, so about 60 between now and the end of the year. I don't know, kind of torn. Things keep coming up that I'm interested in, and so I was like, let's just go with that. Plus with the prices of some of the Silver Age and Golden Age stuff. Don't get me wrong, you can buy it on eBay. Like I bought this one off of eBay. Kind of takes the fun out of it. when you buy them all on eBay like that. So, I'll do it on rare occasion to get the numbering sequence to be even like that. But as far as so now I have 194 to 713. So in getting 198, I had some for that. So I'm not 194 to 713. So if I got 192 and 193, I'd have 189 to 713. So I might buy those off eBay too. Most of those, except for the first appearance of Mr. Freeze, are not really big books. So it's not that they're expensive. It's just that it takes the fun out of it if I just wholesale go eBay shopping for everything. Finding those books out in the wild can be kind of difficult at times. And it's not something that you normally see over on YouTube comic book auctions. People are putting the latest and greatest thing that got announced at 4 movies. So you really don't see a lot of that. So I went over to Marietta, Georgia, which from where I was staying was kind of over and then down to Atlanta to get on the interstate, headed back home today. Went to a comic shop I've never been to in Marietta, which was Dr. No's. And the reason why I went to Dr. No's today was because Dr. No's is listed as a bad idea comic shop. If you've been following the channel and keeping up with things, the comic shop that was 2 hours away from me is closing down. A couple weeks ago was the last time that they were getting new books, so no more bad idea books from them. Which the bad idea books are wrapping up, but we all know that they're going to relaunch. The books that I have read with bad idea have been just really good. Tell me what you think. Have you been reading the bad idea books? And if so, let me know in the description below. So I picked up the bad idea books. There was a couple of other things that I picked up. They were a little on the high side, really nice, but a little on the high side from what I normally like to pay for some of the books that I'm going to show you. So we've got ENIAC. This is ENIAC number, is this 3 or 4? This is issue 3 or 4, one of them. But just a really cool story. I had the first 2 issues, but didn't have 3 and 4. So then I got Tales to Astonish, number 97. Tales to Astonish, like just about every other comic, has been going up. Fortunately, I got most of the big books. Unfortunately, is that I didn't get all of the big ones. The really big ones are the first appearance of Leader, first Abomination, and then you got a second appearance, first cover appearance of Abomination. I got the first full Leader, I got the cameo, and I don't have the first full. So after the Shang-Chi trailer dropped, Abomination's book went sky high. Go figure that. So this was a random one. It was in pretty good shape. It was only $20, and it was one I needed for like sequential numbering. So I decided to pick it up. Picked up Hulk number 14. Not sure what volume number this is. If you collect Hulk, you know what I'm talking about. It goes Incredible Hulk, and there's goes Hulk, and then they add the Incredible back to it. Then it's Incredible Hulks at some point. It's Totally Awesome Hulk at some point. It's Indestructible Hulk at some point. But all these go, and then of course Immortal Hulk is currently, as they're heading up to a big issue milestone. And the numberings don't make any sense because it was Hulk 1 through 6. Then it goes into Tales to Astonish, I think at 60. Then it was Tales to Astonish ends at 100. 101 is Hulk 101 all of a sudden. And I don't think that they went back and picked up the first 6. It's really, really confusing. But it's one of the versions. And this is one of those little mini mates or Lego type covers, which I don't always get, but this is an homage to King Size Annual number 1. You see it says after Steranko right there. And so I picked that one up. And then Indestructible Hulk number 4. number 3. And this Scotty Young, there was a couple that were cheaper, but I just thought this was really funny. The blocks, of course, they smash, and Hulk's throwing a temper tantrum. But that is issue number 1. Then we got Incredible Hulk 710. That's when they went back with the legacy numbering, at least for a few issues. Incredible Hulk 15. This is from the Jason Aaron run on that, and looks like he's fighting some Dr. Doom there. We got Incredible Hulk number 3. This is the Jason Aaron run, Mark Silvestri drawing Hulk. We got Incredible Hulks, which was again part of the confusion because it skipped to Hulks as in plural. 621. I think at some point it went Incredible after World War Hulk. I kept the numbering for Incredible Hercules, but it seems like they dropped it. Really confusing. And get Incredible Hulk number 12. Looks like he's fighting his age-old foe Wolverine there. Number 13. Totally Awesome Hulk number 4. She-Hulk's about to barf. Incredible Hulk's 627. Hulk number 2. Hulk number 1. Who shot Bruce Banner? That's right. The Hawkeye storyline was not the first time that's happened. Then we got number 3. Number 7. Number 10. Hulk versus Red Hulk. And then number 11. So I've got a good many in that particular run. Almost all of the Incredible Hulks run. Put a dent in the Totally Awesome Hulk run. I think I counted 20 to 25 that I need to be up to current. So Immortal Hulk being current all the way back to 300. So the Incredible Hulk run, like I was talking about with the Batman run, I've kind of purposed myself to buy organically on all of it via random Instagram, YouTube auctions, sure, but then in public, in the wild, picking up books. And it's been fairly easy. I know it's going to get harder, kind of like with the Batman. It's going to get harder to do when you get into that Tales to Astonish run, except for the big books, as you'll probably find at all at cons. But the random Tales to Astonish runs, or like issues 2 through 6 of the original run. So that's what I've been kind of do. It's really progressed really fast. But if you think about it, there's not an awful lot of big books in the Incredible Hulk run. When I say big books, like Serious Jack books. 1 through 6 is pretty pricey. The first appearance of Abomination now all of a sudden is pricey in the Tales run. They, of course, have Hulk 180, 181. First Rocket Raccoon would be another one that's pretty expensive. But I've already got one. So, you know, I've got a lot of the big ones already out of the way. The other ones, it's just finding them. So then we've got Hulk number 12. Totally Awesome Hulk number 19. Number 16 of Totally Awesome Hulk. Number 10. Civil War II tie-in. There's Totally Awesome Hulk number 7. Alan Davis looks like it's on the cover of that. Yep. Totally Awesome Hulk number 5. Hulk number 13, little Deadpool appearance there. Number 14. Incredible Hulk's 624. Hulk number 15. And Incredible Hulk number 4. So, I also visited a shop, Great Escape Comics, there in Marietta, Georgia. Usually have a pretty good selection of older back issue books. They got some newer stuff, but by the time I normally get there, I've already picked up newer stuff by the time I get there. But I think I did pick up something new there. I did. Was able to pick up something there. But normally it's all back issues. On occasion, I've even run up on sales where like stuff was 50% off, like after Thanksgiving, and after Christmas type deal. So gotten some pretty good deals there before. Actually, the owner was there today. First time he's ever been there. The other guy whose name I forget is usually there when I've been there, but I was able to pick up this and talking about random back issues. Charlemagne, which is a Defiant title. There's only 5 issues. Well, 6 count issue 0. And not wanting to pay $2-3 plus shipping online, only needed 2 issues, but it's not one of those books you just find all the time. They had the whole set there for like $5. So the other ones hit the sale will be seen on an auction near you. And then the 2 that I needed, which are issue 2 and issue 3, will go into the PC. So I finished that up. Also finished up the Life and Death of Toyo Harada. Got issue number 1, which is the David Mack variant. And then also issue 4. So this is this was a mini series. I think there were 6 issues, and then only needed those 2 to complete it. So that was nice. I don't do a lot of spec outside of my normal wheelhouse, like going to like old back issues, but Jessica Cruz and the Green Lanterns, because I feel like DC keys are really slept on because Warner Brothers has not overall done a really good job in hyping up that train like Marvel has. So I had picked up some Jessica Cruz stuff before. Didn't find any of that today, but I did find Green Lantern Zero, which is the origin and I guess second appearance of Simon Baz. So picked that up for cheap. Also picked up Transformers Generation 1. This is issue 100. So with this Generation 1, IDW went back and picked up the Marvel numbering. And this is, of course, an homage to issue 1. And you'll see, or Mike could see where they say after Sienkiewicz down here. And, of course, they make fun of themselves, and Marvel, I guess, is this was Transformers originally was only supposed to be a 4-issue miniseries. It ended up going for like 80 issues. So it would say 1 of 4, 1 or 2, 2 or 3, 2 or 4 rather, and 3 or 4, and so on. And then when it got to 5, it dropped that. Well, then they picked it back up on the last issue, 80 of a 4-issue miniseries. And that's what they did here, 100 in a 4-issue limited series. So it's kind of a tongue-in-cheek joke, too, besides a cool Sienkiewicz homage to Transformers number 1. So picked that one up from Great Escape. Also picked up Gamma Flight number 1, which is an homage to Where the Monsters Dwell, I think is the name of the book. And strangely enough, the Hulk book that did an homage way back in the early 2000s. That book I found in dollar bins. So for whatever reason, this one really caught some steam. This is a ratio variant. I think it's a 1 in 25 maybe. I only paid $10 for it. And he was actually sorting through some books and was moving them because I happened to be needing to get to the book, the long box that these were on. And he said, well, let me get these out of the way. I'm just sorting them to put out on the wall. And I saw the regular cover of Gamma Flight. You wouldn't happen to have the, oh, there it is. I'll go ahead and take that. Also picked up, went to Syndicate Comics. So Syndicate Comics is actually in the mall there in Marietta, Georgia, Antique Mall. So always pays to know people because Dustin from Two Brothers Comics is actually the person that turned me on to this place. I would not have known that this place was in there because it don't say comics on the outside like a typical comic shop does. So went in there and walked up there, and one of the owners said, you're from out of town, aren't you? Okay, yeah, you know Dustin. And anyway, we got to talking about this, that, and the other as related to comics, and spent probably more time talking than I actually did picking up comics. Was able to pick up a few goodies nevertheless. And over the course of the last few days, I've been able to get my last 2 weeks of pull list. You might recall that my comic shop, after all this time, decided to close. And they directed everybody to the other comic shop there in town. And I'm just not sure as to whether or not I want to support that shop to the level that I do an LCS. I don't know, because this is the shop that I've picked up deals before, fair enough, but more oftentimes than not, I'm looking through their back issue bins that are not in order, for them to only price stuff based on for sale listings on eBay, not sold, but for sale listings on eBay, which is really aggravating. So then if it's a big book that I searched and found in your back stock somewhere, which I have found of theirs, non-boarded and bagged in their stuff, for only to the next time, after I told them I wasn't going to buy it, next time now it's on their shelf back there. Oh, thanks. I did your work for you. So it's kind of aggravating. And they're really more of a Magic Warhammer type of a situation, as opposed to, and they sell a few comics, because they originally bought out this name and this comic shop, Vans. I said it. But originally, because they bought out this particular comic shop, Van already had a bunch of pull lists. It was a big comic shop, so they inherited that. So I'm just unsure as to whether or not I want to support that. When you pay $40 to $60 a week in pull list, for books, I don't know. Maybe it's me. I just feel like I ought to be treated like something. It's funny because the first shop that I went to on the way out of town, I just started saying, "Oh, I need this one. I need this one. I need this one." And they were like, "Sir, is there something I can help you with?" Oh, yeah. They were all excited. They're a very small shop there in Alabama, and it was funny. But Star Wars High Republic #6. Still picking this up. It's not a series that's really exciting me. I know there's a lot of world building going on right now. I don't know. We'll keep giving it a shot, maybe to issue 10 or something like that. I heard that they're actually bringing the Sith into that, so maybe this will feel more Star Warsy by then. Picked up X-Men Alpha #1. This is the first time I've ever seen this thing non-chromium. This is the second printing. Found it for $1 there at Syndicate Comics. So I said, well, what the heck? Picked up a couple of Hulk books. Incredible Hulk Annual #14. $2.49. And originally with the Hulk, because of just the way there was no, it wasn't based on any kind of arithmetic formula or anything other than when I got to thinking about it, I had, it was a good cutoff point, and that was issue 300 to go forward. So I got to 300 and I said, well, I'm going to go backwards and get all the other that Marvel considers Incredible Hulk, but they're not really Incredible Hulk, like Indestructible Hulk, Totally Awesome Hulk, like I mentioned earlier. So I said, well, let me stop at 300 and I'll go back and I will pick up all those so I can say I have 300 forward, similar to the way I did with Batman. But if the occasion arises, that stuff in the 200s especially, you don't really get that as much with the 100s. I did pick up 1 or 2, but you don't really get that as much with Hulk in the 100s, but you do with the 200s. But this is issue 248. Got the Gardner there, which is one of the entities, and as you can see, what would later be known as Infinity Gem there on his head. Incredible Hulk 247 and 244. So these were all in pretty good shape, and there were 3, some were $4 a piece. I said, let me go ahead and pick these up. issue 243, 242, 240, 239, and there were a lot of sequential ordered ones, so that also appealed to me there. 238. How would you like to look in your rearview mirror and see that? 237. When a city dies. 235. The Monster and the Machine. And 191. So see, I did get one that was below 200. It's just not something that happens very often that you get one that's at a decent price that's not beat to Hades. Of course, this is Herb Trimpe on the art there. The Shaper has created a world from your dreams, Hulk, and the dream has become a nightmare. Triumph of the Toad. Picked up Detective Comics 627. Of course, this is an homage to Tech 27 there. Picked up The Walking Dead Deluxe, just one of the newer ones that I've had missed out on. Here's those other ENIACs that I picked up from the other shop there. And one of the things I really didn't understand, because the guy told me, he said, well, you have to buy them in a set. He said, because that's the way they charge us for them. Okay, the other shop I was buying them in, I was buying them individual, but I didn't argue the point. I mean, because we were only talking about ENIAC. I was going to get tankers, and he was going to go ahead and make me pay for 3 and 4 of tankers, or maybe I think it was 3 and 4. And I'm like, well, you're not going to mail them to me, so no, I'll just go without. Or maybe tankers 3 was in there, and 4 was the one it wasn't there, but I was going to get charged for. Nevertheless, ENIAC, it was not the first print. But yeah, so not the first print, number 1, and then also number 2. So I'll just sell those. This is Sleigh Bells. I think this came out this week. So basically, some hunters go out there to hunt. They end up killing a reindeer, and Santa goes postal on them. So that's Sleigh Bells. Zeb Wells, the guy that's writing Hellions for Marvel right now, is the person who wrote that. So look forward to reading that. Also got these in the mail from Big Time Collectibles. This is Cable number 11. If you've seen my Instagram feed, I actually showed these off for the other day, but this is a connecting cover with Wolverine 13. Marvel kept pushing Cable 11 back for some reason, and that's why it took a while for me to get these from there. And they threw in a free book, which I'm sure they do for a lot of them, but that was kind of cool as well. Glad to see Old Man Cable is back. Didn't really make sense the way they done it, because they just went to the pods or the eggs and, hatched them out of there, as opposed to you had this whole backstory this whole time that Old Man Cable is out there and he's heading back, kind of giving us hope that this is what's fixing to happen. And so instead of time jumping and saying, hey, here I am, now little guy, go back, you go and put him in the resurrection pods and you resurrect him with at least they did mention it, talking about the techno-organic virus that Cable has. At least they did mention it, as opposed to him just, reviving and he has it and nobody ever says anything about it. But it was kind of whatever. But glad he's back. And of course, Cable 11, I think it goes to issue 13 maybe, and it will cancel out. War of the Bounty Hunters number 1. This is a variant cover. This is a Miko Sion cover. I thought I might get this one signed. He done another one of the Bounty Hunters. Then it's a Virgin, and I thought I might like to get that one signed better. And that is the one that I'm probably going to go with, because there's just so much stuff Miko has done. Crow cover, the Wolverine number 1, which is an homage to Hulk 340. There's just a lot of the Valiant stuff that he done. One of the ones I'm getting him to do is Ninjak. I think it's number 1. It's the brushed metal cover. And I mean, just so much great stuff. I'm like, okay, I can't stand there with the short box with this guy. So got to figure something out. Plus, I don't know how much he's going to charge. There is a thing that you can get at Cowtown. It's $100. You get a Something's Killing the Children variant that he done, which is a Cowtown exclusive, which is great. Something's Killing the Children print, and you get a badge, essentially VIP, so you're guaranteed to get signatures from him. But I don't think his signatures are free. I might be wrong, but I don't think his signatures are free. Also, I meant to mention a while ago that the guy that I got the eBay stuff, Gary Dog Off Comics, and if you see this right there is a Solar Man of the Atom. So that's kind of cool. Don't see that very often. And so those are from Big Time Collectibles. So let's see what else we got. So X-Men 1. X-Men 1 came out this week, relaunching the X-Men title and the team that is now assembled, going out off of Krakoa to the masses and being the X-Men team that we're a lot more familiar with. Jerry Duggan is writing it, which Jerry Duggan has been hit or miss for me. So I was kind of unsure about it. I was like, I don't know. But Pepe Larraz is on the art, and I leaned into, after I read it, I leaned into a lot of the covers from this X-Men 1. I don't typically do that. But they just hit that right spot, and I said, all right, we got to do this. We're getting it. So I actually had to get a lot of these from various different shops just because I didn't have them all. But this is a shop called Galaxy Quest. They actually have multiple locations, and this is the one that I went to there in northern Georgia. So this is the X-Men 1. This is the Stormbreakers variant. So this is says Juan Cabal and Carmen Carnero. This one is Peach Momoko and Ivan Kaleo. And this is part of the connecting cover here. Yeah, this is how it goes right there, I think. Actually, might go like that. Anyway, there's a couple other pieces to that we'll find in here. Immortal Hulk number 48. This is the Ross cover here. Also, every time I'm in Georgia, I go by Dave's Comics and pick up some a long box, typically, but I end up getting 2 long boxes, which the majority of those are going to be sold. So you will be seeing the Saturday morning Cartoon Crew auction back on Saturday, as well as some stuff maybe on Thunder's channel on Thursday nights. You'll probably see some more of the Whatnot auctions, but nevertheless, I got a bunch of stuff to auction and went to, they don't call it, I always forget the name of it, but they don't call it Dave's, but that's a little further south. Picked up some good things there. This is a giant size Jinglers. This is a Cerebus. Of course, this is a giant size X-Men number 1 homage. And then Teenage Mutant Ninja Cerebi, Cerebi being the plural form. And this is an homage to TMNT number 1. Also picked up Incredible Hulk 231, 263, 93, Hulk, which strangely enough is not part of the Incredible Hulk. Whatever. This is variant of issue 12, Ed McGuinness cover. So this is a connecting cover with the original Defenders there. And Totally Awesome Hulk number 8. Totally Awesome Hulk number 1. This is another one of those connecting covers for X-Men 1. So it's just, let's see, RB Silva did this one, Patrick Gleason, who I guess people would know from the Spider-Man covers of late, and Natasha Bustos. So that is cool. But yeah, I would, if you are an X-Men fan, and even if you are like me and have been kind of waning in with this whole House of X Powers of 10 deal, which is supposed to ramp back up with Inferno, I wasn't a big fan of Swords of 10. This whole Hellfire Gala is this biggest crock or whatever. If people like it, that's their business. Me personally, I don't like it. This X-Men 1 gives you hope. So, Snake Eyes Dead Game, number 5. This is the final issue. No surprises everyone that this has been delayed multiple times since Rob is so well about getting stuff out on time. It kind of hit the nostalgic funny bone a little bit. First few issues. Number 2, I got the Storm Shadow Purple Rain variant, which was kind of, and I was like, well, let me just get the rest of it, and ended up getting that's the last issue. Read it. I was like, whatever. X Factor number 10. So talking about the waning love for the current state of the X-Men titles, let's talk about X Factor. That's one that I was not a fan of day one. Did not like the lineup, did not like the writer, and the art was meh. So add Hellfire Gala and you just make it all the more worse. And this issue was garbage. The only reason that I picked it up is because the death of Wanda, or Scarlet Witch, which I feel like they're going to resurrect her, put her in the resurrection pod, and she's going to come back and, whoa, voila, she was a mutant the whole time. That some of her powers derive from her mutant ability, and some are as a result of her learning her craft, so to speak. And I think that kind of plays along with what the MCU was trying to do in WandaVision, that they were trying to set that up. I don't know who came up with it, whether the comic or they came up with it, but nevertheless. Then we got Indestructible Hulk number 20, which is the final issue of that particular run. We got Indestructible Hulk number 19, number 18. And some of these I picked up at Second and Charles in Birmingham, Alabama. So Second and Charles is one of those stores you got to dig to find that gold, because most of the comics have been in no kind of order. And this particular store is no exception to that. Indestructible Hulk number 5. And then we got Incredible Hulk annual number 19, which originally was polybagged, but it did still have the card with it. Got that one on the cheap at that little store there in Alabama. But Second and Charles, on occasion, you can find some, pretty good stuff, and at decent prices. Just one of those places. Be prepared to dig. Don't think you're just going to go in there and go straight to the header and find it, make it happen. So crossover number 7. This is the issue that was kind of taken over by Chip Zdarsky, who I'm a big fan of, by the way. I've read some of his Daredevil work. And the story that he did in Batman Urban Legends for Red Hood was great. I'm trying to think of another one that he recently did that I read, and I was like, wow. This, I could have done without this issue. I think it was kind of funny because there was a comic version of himself as well as a regular version of himself. But, crossover is one of those series that I was at first very interested in, and it's kind of waned. Just because the story seems to be taking longer than what it should. But I think they're supposed to get back with it at issue 8, so whatever. Donny Cates probably was writing too much stuff, but then again, Chip Zdarsky is too. Power Rangers Unlimited #1. This was a strange story. When I say strange story, it's a strange story to me as a very basic knowledge Power Rangers guy. I'm not like Burt Family 54 Comics, Steve or somebody like that knows the ins and outs of all the variations of the Power Rangers. That's not me. So just basic knowledge Power Ranger guy. I wasn't lost, but I probably didn't get into it as much as what I could have had I known some of that. So then we got the Swamp Thing, #5 of 10. This is a series I've been picking up, and we're halfway through it. That had Constantine in it, and to me, that meant, hey, there's an option, or this might be even better issues, a better issue than the last few have been, and the last few have been great. However, it just didn't really ring as well to me as what the other ones did. So we'll see. I'm not dropping it as a result of that. It's just that this wasn't one of the better issues, in my opinion. X-Force 21. I would have rather the A cover than this one, but this one wasn't all that bad. This was just the first one that I picked up because in trying to scramble together my pull list at the various shops as I came to them, so let me just go ahead and get this. X-Force 21. X-Force has been one of the consistent series thus far in the run. It's been kind of waning a little bit lately, but this one's okay. I mean, you got a creature who's like Man-Thing. A lot of creatures like Man-Thing, which is part of the Weapon Plus program, which Wolverine fully understands because he was as well. And this has to do with the whole Krakoa thing. And I just don't know if Beast is not Dark Beast. If you remember, Dark Beast had crossed over from the Age of Apocalypse line and had kidnapped the real Beast there for a while. The way he's acting is just like Dark Beast did. So I think that's going to be a deal towards the end of it. So Hellions #13 find out that there are that the Mr. Sinister that had sent them over, or that went over to that other world with the Hellions, is not the same Mr. Sinister. It gets kind of confusing if you're not reading it, but Hellions is the surprise title to me of the X titles because I did not give it any hope, and maybe I set the bar so low that it wasn't very hard for it to go above it, but this is definitely one of the better reads. Zeb Wells is doing that. The next Batman Second Son, #4. So at the end of this issue, Jace finds the Batman suit. And as we know, they're going to launch another series in which he is the next Batman. I don't have a problem with it. As if he wants to run consecutive like Batwing used to run, or if they did something similar to the way Superman is doing now. So John Kent is in one title, and then one's in Action, one's in Superman. I think if they did one like Sin Detective and one's in Batman, I wouldn't have a problem with that. And not that they have to ask me to get my permission before they do anything like that, but as long as they're not saying, well, hey, we're going to replace you, get lost, old Batman. I think the next Batman is still an unproven commodity as of yet. Let him build his fan base before you make that choice of getting rid of Bruce Wayne. I think that was one of Marvel's problems in the Marvel Now movement that they did, where they just wanted to replace everybody willy-nilly with younger, different ethnicities and genders than what people were original to, and people balked at it. But if you kind of dovetail it in, I think it would work a lot better. War of the Bounty Hunters, #14. So Dengar and what's his name, whose name is escaping me right now, is really having a time with this lady right here. They managed to escape her, but at what cost? And that's all I'll say. If you haven't read this, I don't want to spoil it too terribly bad for you. Been a interesting series. I'm not that over invested in it. And by over invested in the War of the Bounty Hunters, meaning I was already picking up these titles anyway. So it's not like I went and started picking up a lot more titles to get all of the pieces of the storyline. I was already picking them up, most of them. So the fact that they're tying them together is interesting. The only one I was not picking up was Dr. Aphra, which I did pick up, number 11. And I liked it. You know, it was interesting take. You know, with Dirge, I heard somebody say, yeah, I'm sure that Dr. Aphra is going to take him down with one hand tied behind her back. That was not how it went. It was kind of crazy and zany, which I think is kind of her deal, the way that it was done. But it was cool. Then we got another copy of X-Men number 1. That this is kind of a X-Men 92 or X-Men animated series look at things. Nice House on the Lake, another hit, it seems, by James Tynion. This is a DC Black Label, but not in the prestige format. It's only $3.99 like the rest of them. I got a couple extra copies to sell, but this is the one that's going in the PC. And I think that some of the people that are there at the house are kind of figuring out, hey, this is what it is. We better make the best of it because this is where we're at. So I said it was an interesting week. Then we got X-Men number 1. This is not a Peach Momoko, although it does kind of favor that. This is a ratio variant, and I decided to pick that up with Rogue on the cover there. And then we got the X-Men number 1 Scotty Young cover. I don't always like the Scotty Youngs. They don't always just fit, but some, if they make me laugh with the characters, okay, I'll pick it up. Plus, like I mentioned earlier, the X-Men 1, I was like so excited, I guess, that so excited. Well, we might be getting old X-Men back. I went and picked up a lot of the number 1s. I've got several of the number 1s from Unknown Comics coming in with a shirt, which, by the way, speaking of shirts, I did pick up an X-Men shirt from Target. This is, of course, X-Men number 11. And it's got like marks on the back, like Wolverine claw marks or whatever, but they picked that up on the cheap from Target. Immortal Hulk number 48. This is the Bennett homage cover. I forget which Incredible Hulk issue that is, but I've been picking that up in the Alex Ross First Prints. Then we got Hellions number 12. This is the variant edition. Had to get the Rogue cover there. I'd already picked up 12 at my shop, but my old shop, the one that's closed now, never got anything like that. So I just happened to find that cover price. So let me go ahead and pick that up. So, and the stack goes on and on and on, and the stack goes on and on. So another copy of X-Men 1. This is part of the connecting cover. This is the Stormbreakers connecting cover. Joshua Cassera done this one. This is, of course, Polaris. Totally Awesome Hulk number 23, which is an homage to King Size Hulk number 1. Totally Awesome Hulk number 14. Then we got Star Trek The Next Generation, The Last Generation. And this is an homage to, is it Uncanny X-Men 141? Classic cover there. Picked up Wildcats number 25, newsstand copy. So for those of you familiar with this, there is a normal regular foil. In the early 90s, especially at the launch of Image, there were not a lot of newsstands. They did not invest heavily into getting that newsstand distribution, but they did have some. And I had found one copy, and another person in the community really needed that one copy. to complete their set. So I sold it to them. Ended up finding another copy after that. And then I found this copy on the cheap. So I said, well, maybe there's another collector of Wildcats that needs that one comic to make their set complete. Wildcats Trilogy #1. This is the non-foil newsstand version of that. Incredible Hulk #95. This is part of the Planet Hulk series storyline. Basilisk #2. So #1 was interesting. So we'll see what if #2 can keep up the heat. Dr. Tomorrow #4. I did not pick these up when they originally came out, and so I've just been picking them up on the back issues of shops as they came along. So I only needed #4 to complete that set. So now I got that. Then we got Batman and Catwoman. Same thing here. Didn't pick these when they originally came out, so been just picking up the various ones that I missed. Detective Comics. This is from the New 52. This is annual #1. Incredible Hulk #230. Harvest of Fear. Found that in the dollar bin. And then, of course, no set of comics would be complete without a Turok #1. Of course, this is my 20-something copy of Turok #1. So nothing new, but every time I find it on the cheap, I pick her up. This is Samurai, Mistress of the Mystic, or Martial Arts rather, #1. This is a Neil Adams owned property. This is Windjammer, which is the creator-owned properties through Acclaim, which is Valiant Comics. This is the only one I need to complete this miniseries. And the funny thing is, I ordered it off mycomicshop.com and originally, and they sent me the wrong one, which once I called them, they gave me credit for it. So it wasn't a big deal. And I could see how that happened because Continuity Comics had ran one and it had the right label in there. The right book wasn't in there. So I was like, man, well, then when I found that one in the dollar bin, no harm, no foul, right? Then we picked up Batman Black and White #3, Barry Windsor Smith Batman in the dollar bin. A win, win, win. That's 3 wins for those of you who are keeping count. Then I picked up Quantum and Woody, the director's cut, which is like the first several issues of that Acclaim run of Quantum and Woody, which I didn't even realize I needed, and it was in the dollar bin, so you can't go wrong. You know, finding stuff like that, I mean, obviously, if I found a $50 book, which I have before, if I find a $50 book, I get excited about that too. But I get just as excited a lot of times about those run fillers that are just hard to find, and the fact that, boom, the work paid off. That in going through these books, I end up finding stuff because, like, I found these right here, Fatale #2 from Broadway Comics, and Fatale #3. Superman 208 Jim Lee cover, but the biggest part about this is that this is from 2004, and it is a newsstand. That's right, a newsstand from 04. So that is definitely on the rarer side of things, and picked it up in the dollar bin. Can't go wrong. Savage Dragon #13 Jim Lee cover. That's really the only reason I got it. I'm not a big Savage Dragon fan. But really cool Jim Lee cover, and it was in the dollar bin. Then I picked up 3 copies of Ninjak #1. So it's one of those chromium covers that Valiant did, and if I can find them on the cheap, I always pick them up. I don't have as many Ninjak #1s as I do the Turoks or Bloodshots or Exo Man of Wars. But nevertheless, found 3 of them. Machine Man 2020, issue #1. Little Barry Windsor Smith goodness there. And I picked this up. It was in the dollar bin, so it really wasn't that big of a deal. But Ultimatum number 5. I'd never seen the variant cover. The connecting cover, I have all those, and of course I've seen those. And then the one that you normally see that is like a really big book is the Magneto sitting on the throne with Thor's hammer at the on the floor with the white background, which is a picture lifted from the inside of the book. But it's a hard book to get, especially if you get in a high grade because of all the white. So I'd never seen this one, so I just picked it up. I looked it up. It wasn't a big book or anything, but interesting. Hulk Annual number 13. X Factor number 71. Gold edition, which is the second print, and it's a newsstand. So a lot of goodies going on with that. Then we've got Wolverine First Class, which is another Uncanny X-Men 141, I believe, homage. And this came out of a Family Dollar, I believe, pack. It had 2 other comics, Spider-Man and an Iron Man comic in there. But I had bought them. They were in the dollar bins. So bought several packs of those. Going to be selling those on the auctions. Then we got Hulk number 9. Hulk fighting Kitty Pryde there. Hulk number 8. Number 6. Number 4. Batman Annual number 20 from 1996. The Muppets Take Manhattan number 3. Miss Piggy is going down the aisle with Kermit. Miss Piggy. And these were, I'll show all these together. So let me show these wizards first. So picked up these wizards out of the dollar bin. Wizard 22. Those are Joe Quesada covers there. So the ex-villains, Joe Quesada doing that. So that was kind of cool. Wizard number 19, which is him going out against Sabretooth, Wolverine that is. Wizard number 49. And this is the ex-villains there. This is the one that had the comic. Yeah. So the comic, so that would have been sealed in a poly bag back in the day. But this one actually, whoever had put the Wizard half version in there, and it was Evil Ernie. So that was kind of cool. So I'm going to sell the Evil Ernie, and I'm going to keep the Wizard. Then we got Wizard 23, which was especially up in my wheelhouse with the trifold cover of Deathmate. So these are the Image and the Valiant characters going at each other. And so I like to pick those wizards up when they're characters that I'm interested in. And going down memory lane with all those is always fun too. So this was the one book that I needed to, in the original volume 1 set of Hulk. And I was beginning to think I was going to have to go online to buy this one. It's a Todd McFarlane cover. That's the biggest part of it, is it's a Todd McFarlane cover. But I found this at Dave's Comics, and so glad to pick that one up. Also at Dave's Comics, I got this Death of Wolverine number 1. This is a Herb Trimpe cover, and it is signed by Herb Trimpe himself. Of course, you're not going to get any more of those these days because he has since passed. But this is done back in 2015 at Big AppleCon. But yeah, so it's kind of a end all of Hulk 181, if you will. So Hulk takes out Wolverine, Hulk takes out Wendigo, and it kind of goes well with the death of Wolverine. Then we got Werewolf by Night 32, the facsimile edition. I like my homages, so I also like those True Believers and facsimile editions as well. So, getting down to the end of this big old box, if you have not already, go ahead and drop the hammer down on that like button, subscribe button, and the bell notification button. So when videos like this go up, you don't miss nothing. Now, I picked these up, and when I going through those loan boxes, because I was filling up loan boxes, I said, well, this stuff, if I don't need it or end up wanting it, I could probably sell it. So it's not no big deal. I'm not going to take the time to go through the CLZ app. I'm just going to throw it in the box. Let's go. So that was the reason why I picked these up. Ended up, I did need these for some random Wolverine fillers. The most interesting thing about them that I did not realize until I got back was that these are all newsstands. And we're talking about late newsstands here, folks. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find this here. So yeah, we're talking about 2011. I think the last newsstands went out in 12. So we're talking about late Marvel newsstands here. Which to some people doesn't matter anything, but to me, because the reality is that with these particular Wolverine books, they're not real big keys or anything. So the biggest thing about them is the fact that they are newsstands, because the print runs on these were so low, and it was funny that I got all of these one right after another, and they were all newsstands. But this is Wolverine number 6. It's a J. Lee cover, newsstand copy there. Number 18, newsstand. 17, newsstand. 13, newsstand. And they went back to the original numbering in this. This is a 306 newsstand. 304 newsstand. And this is also a Dale Keown cover. Wolverine 301 newsstand. 302, which is the Arthur Adams cover, newsstand. Wolverine 12, newsstand, back to the J. Lees, and Wolverine 7, newsstand. So nice to pick those up. So the shop owner had bought a collection. I thought at first it might be another shop, but obviously it was a person that was just collecting and had sold their stuff for whatever reason, but picked those up. So that was enough. I mean, we've been going at this thing for an hour now. And so you're wondering why the extra video? Well, the deal is that after I had filmed all my video and had put those books away, I realized that because I was thinking the whole time I was shooting that video that I thought I got a lot more comics than that, and was thinking about specific ones. And when I was putting them up, I'm like, I thought I had more in that run. And it dawned on me that I had put a lot of them in a suitcase that my wife had cleared out so that we could try to keep them from getting bent up and all that kind of stuff, with all the other stuff in the vehicle from all the family. So instead of trying to go back and pull them out of the boxes, I thought the easiest thing is to show the rest of the books, because I certainly wanted to do that. Did pick this up at Ollie's, which was an extra store that I didn't count in that earlier number that I gave you that I visited. This is the only thing that I picked up from there, though, was this Batman 100 Greatest Moments. Pretty cool. I've seen it there a couple times. Just said, finally just ate on me enough to finally pick it up. I almost picked it up at Second and Charles, but it was a little bit cheaper at Ollie's. Ollie's are strange in that it's not like cookie cutter. Like, you don't see the exact same thing at every Ollie's, or at least my experience has been different at every Ollie's. So I guess that does keep it interesting, but I typically see these at every one of them, and that was for much less than cover price, so that is pretty cool. A lot of the books that I picked up are definitely of the green guy variety, i.e. Hulk. It's also picked up Immortal Hulk 41. That's the Bennett homage cover. Immortal Hulk 36. Incredible Hulk 250. Classic battle between him and Silver Surfer there. He-Man and the Masters of the Multiverse. This was a series that I slept on and then decided I wanted to go back and pick it up. So it seems like every other trip I find one of the ones I need, not all of them. So that now I'm down to just needing one more. Suicide Squad. This is a newer read, and it's pretty interesting. I had gotten them in the DC packs, and so that is why I read them. I was like, man, this is pretty good. So I went and picked up the rest of them. 5 came out this week or last week, and picked up it. And yeah, it's an interesting read. So I'm going to keep picking it up. Got Geiger number 4. Definitely the storytelling of John's and the artistry of Frank's is a great team up, and really digging the story so far with Geiger. Batman 110. So, things have been kind of slow in the Batman title as of late. It seems that they are fastly moving to the dystopian type future that Future State showed us with the peacekeepers and all that kind of stuff. But it's been kind of very slow reading. I don't know if maybe Tynian's putting all this real brain power into the Boom Studios with Something Skill in the Children, or even Department of Truth, etc. I don't know if he was putting so much brain power in there. There's really kind of mailing it in with Batman. I don't know. But it definitely, the action picked up in this issue. And I said, this is back to what I want. So let's keep this going. So hoping for some good things there. Beta Ray Bill. This has been a fun read as Beta Ray Bill tries to find himself a weapon. We all know that he's going to end up getting Stormbreaker back, and it's just a matter of time. So now he's fixing to take on Suitor. That is his name, Suitor. Batman and Catwoman. I had picked up one in the DC packs. I picked up one somewhere for cheap. I said, let me just get the rest of these, because a lot of these are really cool Jim Lee covers, like this one right here. So this one just came out. I've got to get one. Issue 1 is the one that I'm missing. Harbinger Renegades. Was able to pick up this series, in particular Imperium, which is the series that I got a lot of issues for. Issue 16, issue 15, 14, 11, and 10. I've got some more in here too. But I was able to pick them up at Second and Charles for 50 cents. So they're trying to clean up some books that have been there for a while, and charging very little for them. So it worked out good. Nocterra number 5. This has been a really good read. Scott Snyder, I typically give him a first pass on his stuff just because he has done so many good things. I really didn't like Undiscovered Country. Never really got into it. Went several issues in, like 5-6 issues in. I'm just like, all right, I'm out. But Nocterra has been a fun ride. She brings her brother. He's healed because of the sunlight. And they're talking about kind of what you know when you're when you're a monster of the darkness. And then you find out the professor's brother, who he's working for. I won't spoil it for you just in case you haven't read it, but check it out. Also, Firepower. It seems like this issue is, of course, setting up something at the same time. It's one of those playful type issues, kind of like X-Men back in the day would play like sports and baseball and that type of thing, just kind of a filler issue. But it is also setting up something with the dragon and everything as well. But the kids get into a fight because they know the martial arts now, and he tries to teach them to do the fireball, and the girl doesn't, and so it's a fun issue. Imperium number 7, number 6. As I mentioned, I had several of these. Number 12 and number 5. The Death-Defying Dr. Mirage, Second Lives, number 3. And number 4. Totally Awesome Hulk, number 11. Number 9. Number 18. Indestructible Hulk, number 13. Number 12. Delinquents, number 4. This was a short series that Valiant put out with Archer and Armstrong and Quantum and Woody. And they did this fun board game connecting cover, which was kind of fun. And that was one I was missing. Archer and Armstrong, number 2. Totally Awesome Hulk, number 12. Generation Zero, number 2. So those, like I said, were 50 cents. And I picked up the A cover for X-Men 1. As you saw earlier, I really leaned in on the X-Men title. Aggravating thing about this, so Second Charles has some new books, and this was one of those new books. And I saw the price sticker up there, and I just assumed it was on the bag. Why would you do a price sticker? Why would you do a price sticker on the actual comic and then put it in a bag? But that's exactly what they did. So ended up, can't really see it, but I know it's there. That little white right there. Yeah, that's the sticker. Thank you, Second Charles, for being an idiot. All right. So I visited another shop that I hadn't shown any books because they were in this stack from until now the other day, and they were just now opening after a year and a half of being closed, and they went downsized to a smaller location. Has some decent little deals like this right here, Batman 47. This is, of course, an homage to the first Harley Quinn in continuity. Alex Ross cover, and Alex Ross coming back again. Batman, this time he's separating them. Batman the Dawnbreaker, number 1. This is the 3rd print. It's a non-foil, but it's a red type cover. Batman the Drowned, the foil cover with Bryce Wayne there. Batman the Devastator, the foil cover. Got Incredible Hulks, number 619, 628, 630, 631, 633. Incredible Hulk, number 1, which Mark Silvestri cover there. Then we got Indestructible Hulk, number 6. These are Walt Simonson covers. Number 7. Number 8. Of course, you had to have Thor in there with some Simonson, right? Number 9. Number 10. Number 11. Number 14. Number 15. Number 16. Detective Comics, 675. This is the foil direct edition of that cover. Red Hood and the Outlaws, 36 from the New 52 and 37. Detective Comics 48. This is from the New 52 run. Batman and Robin from the 3D cover from Futures In there. Batgirl #1 from Futures In. Batman. So not too long ago, I picked one of these up, and because I've had the non-3D version, or the 2D, I guess that would be, version, and I picked up a 3D version. And so then somebody reached out to me and said, "I saw your video. Sell those to me." Okay. So I sold them to him, sold them to him, and picked me up another copy. Then we got Batman Annual #12, #19, #27. Those are all from Volume 1. And then we got Batman Annual #4, which is from, can't remember if that's from that's going to be from Rebirth. That's going to be from the current run. Detective Comics, the Future is In, and you got where the Riddler comes in and out. And that's the only thing that changes there. And it says Fabok, so it's a Fabok Batman, but then it says After Infantino. So I don't know if there was a cover that Carmine Infantino did. And I saw this, so I picked it up. Cable Second Genesis, a selection of stories starring the Dayspringer. Of course, some Rob Liefeld there. Cable all suited up with arm pad or shoulder pads and everything. And it's just some reprints of some early Cable stories from the early X-Force days. Is what that is. So those were the extra books. Sorry for any confusion, but I did want to share them in a different video, but just going to splice the videos together. So thanks for watching as always. Till next time, keep reading and keep collecting. Adios.